2024 is going to be a series year for me. Let's get some books read. Hello beautiful people of the internet, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah if you're new here, and I'm so excited that you've joined me today. Like I said, in today's video we are going to be talking about all the series that I want to finish in 2024. There were so many series in 2023 that I started and did not finish, and I am kicking myself because there's so many series that I started that I'm just dying to know how they end. But here I am starting more and more series, and I'm not finishing the ones that I've already started. So I calculated it, and it looks like I have started a total of 25 series in 2023 that I need to finish. Will I finish all these in 2024? Probably not. But the goal is to get as many of these series done as I can. And today I'm going to share those series with you. So let's go ahead and dive in. Also, be prepared for me to say series like 25,000 times in this video. Really quick, I want to show you the series tracker that I made on my iPad, and I love how it turned out. I just completely made it up on my own. So basically I wrote the name of the series, and all of the boxes represent a book in that series. So some series you can see that I'm making my way through, and some series I've only gotten to one book. So let's go ahead and talk about these. The first series is actually a series that I just started in January, and that is the Naturals series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I've talked about this a couple times recently on my channel, and this is basically just a YA Criminal Minds series, and honestly, out of all of these that I'm going to talk about, this is the one that I'm not worried at the least amount. I know for a fact that I'm going to get through this series. So next we have the Lakefront Billionaire series by Lauren Asher. I recently just read Love Redesigned, and I actually have a whole reading vlog on that book. I am so excited for the second book. This is one of the series, the only series that I am caught up in release date order. The first book just recently came out and I read it, and the second book is supposed to be coming out in June. So highly anticipating that one. Next, again, Jennifer Lynn Barnes, The Inheritance Games. I have read book 1 and am highly anticipating the rest of the series. The rest of the series is out. The second book is The Hawthorne Legacy, the third book is The Final Gambit, and the fourth book is The Hawthorne Brothers. And I believe that there's another book coming out. I don't know. Regardless, I need to finish the series. Next is the Maple Hills series by Hannah Grace. I am caught up with this one as well. The first book was Icebreaker, the second book was Wildfire, and the third book comes out in March, I believe? May? Somewhere around in 2024, and it is Henry's book. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for Henry's book. I feel like anybody who's read this series is highly anticipating Henry's book. Next is a series that I'm almost finished with, and that is the Small Spaces series by Catherine Arden. I read Small Spaces, Dead Voices, Dark Waters, and now I have to read Empty Smiles, which I'm really excited about that one because I have a feeling that it takes place at like some kind of amusement park or carnival or something like that. And that setting sounds wonderful. And I believe that this is the fourth and final book. Not gonna lie, this one is gonna make me cry when I finish the series, and that is Sheets by Brenna Thumler. I had no clue that Brenna Thumler was stopping after the third book, and I'm very upset about it. Anyway, the first book is Sheets, the second book is Delicates, and I have to get to the third one, which is Lights. I'm actually going to pick that up soon because I believe it takes place in winter or has snow involved of some sort. This is a graphic novel series that I absolutely adore with my entire heart. I'm sure you've heard me talk about it before, but just in case you haven't, this is about our main character Marjorie, who accidentally makes friends with a little ghost inside her laundromat. So it is absolutely adorable, and I highly recommend this series. Shatter Me by Tara Mafi. I don't even know if I want to finish this series. Guys, this is another one that I do not want to let go of. This is a world that I do not want to see go. And when I close that final book, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. I know that's really dramatic, but I love that series with my entire heart. I have 3 novellas left and 2 regular books left. Yeah, moving on. Next is a romance duology, and it's called A Vine Mess. This is by Tessa Bailey. She just recently came out with both of these. The first one is called Secretly Yours, and the second one is called Unfortunately Yours. I believe that this duology is following a brother and sister, or a sister, I can't remember. But I read the first book, didn't love it, but I do have the second book and would like to finish the duology. Next is the Rebel Blue Ranch series. The first book was Done and Dusted. I liked Done and Dusted. It wasn't like super memorable for me. I do remember there being quite a bit of language in here, but I love these covers. Oh my gosh. I believe the second one is called Saddled something. It has to do with a rider. So, something to do with saddles. Again, I did like it enough to continue with the series. And I believe I am caught up with that one. The second book releases this year at some point. This is a series that I do not anticipate getting finished with because it's so incredibly long. And that is the Campers and Criminals series by Tanya Capes. I love this series with my entire heart. I listen to all of these. I have listened all up until book 8. I have to start on book 8. I do not know what it's called. They all have really cute titles, but I cannot remember what this one is called. And there is 33 in the series. So I'm going to be working on that one for a while. Next is the Ice Cream Shop Mystery series by Mary Allen. I adore this series with my entire heart, and I really don't know if the third book is the final book. I really hope not because I love this series. And I read Rocky Road to Ruin, and then I read Mint Chocolate Murder, which I loved and adored both of those and highly recommend if you're just getting started into cozy mysteries. I highly recommend this series. But the third book I have to get to is Fatal Fudge Swirl. So I'll probably get to that one probably in October, closer to Halloween, because it is a Halloween-centered cozy. This I'm doing more so for just my pride. I need to finish the Hunger Games series. I have read the original trilogy, Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay. I've read all those. I did not, however, read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And I say that because I did start the book and I got like 20% in and I put it down because I was like, why do I need to care so much about President Snow? And then I went to the movie theater. If you've seen that movie, I don't need to tell you anything. Okay, I don't need to say words right now. That movie was so good that it made me want to pick up the book again. I've got to finish this series this year. Next, I do need to finish the When in Rome series. I loved When in Rome by Sarah Adams. And the next book is a companion novel to that one. I don't necessarily think it's a series, but I do know that the characters are linked, and I would like to get to Practice Makes Perfect at some point just because I love Sarah Adams romance. This is another one I do not anticipate getting done this year, but I would like to knock out a big chunk of it, and that is the Women's Murder Club series by James Patterson. I have read all the way up until book 9. Book 9 is the book that I'm starting with, and he is coming out with book 24 this year. And I'm so excited. I was so excited when I saw that he was continuing on with the series, just because I know it's a long series, guys. It makes it that much better knowing that there's not an end yet. It's not ending yet. Next is the By the Book mystery series. My friend Keisha absolutely adores this series, and she hyped up the first book. I believe the first book is her favorite. The first book is called Buried in a Good Book, and the second book is called On Spine and Death or something like that, and I do not remember the title of the third book, but I'll put a picture of it right here. I believe that it is ending with the third book, so I just need to read books 2 and 3. Next is the Grilled Cheese Mystery Series. I adore this series, and this is another one that I do not want to see it come to an end. This is by Linda Riley, and I read the first one up to No Gouda, and that's my favorite cozy mystery of all time, and I've not even read the rest of the series, and I already know that this series is going to be a 5-star for me. I did reach out to Linda Riley and ask her if there was going to be more books, and I don't remember if she said that there was going to be a book 4 or book 5. I don't remember how many books. I just wrote down 3, so book 2 and then book 3. So I need to read both of those. I know for sure both books 2 and 3 are out, and I believe she's going to write book 4. Crossing our fingers. Next is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. This book series just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I believe that there's only 3 books, and I've only read the first one. I read The Housemaid. I believe the second one is The Housemaid is Watching, and the third book is The Housemaid is Always Watching, or something like that. It's like The Housemaid and then it continues. So I believe that it is finishing after the third book, so I just need to read book 2 and 3. Next series is the Addicted series by Krista and Becca Ritchie. I read Addicted to You last February and really did enjoy it. That's definitely a book series that I'm going to take my time with though, because I feel like it's very extremely heavy, and it's definitely not your classic rom-com that you can just pick up and fly through. It's definitely one that I feel like you need to take your time with. So this might be one that I do not finish this year, but I would like to make a big chunk in it. Next is also another romance series, and that is the Influencer series by Amy Lee. The first book is called Set on You. The second book is X's and O's, and the third book is The Catch. So I read this one out of order. I know. The second book is called X's and O's, and I did read that for my friend Jessie's readathon last year that she did, and she's doing it again, by the way, which I will leave all that down below because I think you should totally join. But I have not read the first book, which is called Set on You, and I believe the main guy in here is supposed to be resembling Chris Evans. All here for that. And the third book is actually coming out in 2024, and it is called The Catch. And I believe this one has something to do about fishing. The next series that I want to get to is the Noodle Shop Mystery Series by Vivian Chen. I recently saw an interview with Vivian Chen, and she said that she was contracted for 10 books in this series. I've only read 1, and it was called Death by Dumpling, and I really loved it. It was about our main character that is helping her family with their noodle shop, and a dead body turns up, and I loved it. I loved the characters, I loved the setting, I loved everything about it, but never continued with the series. All of the books in the series have these noodle inspired titles, and they're just too cute not to pick up. Next is another graphic novel series, and that is the Sunny series. This is a middle grade graphic novel series that follows a little girl named Sunny as she just goes on all these adventures, and I absolutely adore Sunny. I loved the first book. There's not going to be a book in the series that's going to top the first book for me, but I did read the first book, which is Sunny Side Up. I read the second book, which is Swing It Sunny, and the third book, which is called Sunny Rolls the Dice. I do need to read the last 2 books, which is Sunny Makes a Splash, and then the 5th book, Sunny Makes Her Case. Next is a cider shop mystery series. I read the first book this past year, which was called Apple Cider Slaying, and I really liked that one. I really liked the grandmother-granddaughter dynamic that was in it, and I would like to continue with this series. I believe there's only 2 more books in the series, so I need to get to book 2. Book 3. Next is by Courtney Walsh. I love Courtney Walsh, and that is the Road Trip Romance series. The first book was called Across Country Christmas, and I read that last Christmas and loved it, and I need to read her newest one, which is called A Cross Country Wedding. And I believe that these are companions. I don't think you have to read them in order, but obviously I'm going to. Next is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I only read the first one. I have not read the last two. I do not remember the names of the last two, but I need to read book 2 and book 3. I believe this series is ending after book 3. And the last series that I need to get to in 2024 is the Finley Donovan mystery series. I did read Finley Donovan and Is Killing It, which is the first book. I read Finley Donovan Knocks 'Em Dead, and then I need to get to the newest book, which is Finley Donovan Jumps the Gun. I actually just grabbed this right next to me. I just recently received this for my birthday, and I'm so excited to visit Vero and Finley again. And there you have it, my friends. Those are all the series that I'm hoping to get to in 2024. At least knock out a good chunk of them, because I know that there's a couple that there's no way. So I'm hoping to get at least most of those finished. The rule is that I would like to finish a series before I start a new one. Alright, my friends, if you made it this far into the video, please let me know down below a series that you were hoping to finish in the year 2024, and I will see you on my next video. Bye, friends!